Well, hello everyone. This is Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and we're back again for another great video. This one is David's Dragon. To be more correct, it's King David's Dragon. I'm the Christian Whistleblower. We'd like you to like, subscribe, share, and consider sponsoring this work. You're not going to believe what we have for you today. I've been through the Bible so many times, and this one threw me for a loop, surprised me very, very much, and I just want to show you where we're coming from on this. And this is King David, and this is coming out of Psalm 18, verse number 6. Let's get up here to our first slide. This is Psalm 18:7 to be more exact. And I'm reading strictly out of the King James Version. And we're talking about David's dragon. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills were moved and shaken because he was wroth. So the earth is shaking, trembling. It's causing a big ruckus. There went up smoke out of his nostrils, fire out of his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. So you can see it was smoke out of the nostrils, fire out of the mouth. It was like coals were, kindled by it. It was charcoal burning. It was just, it's fire. He bowed the heavens and came down. Darkness was under his feet. He did fly. He did fly upon wings. So it was a winged dragon, very similar to what we're seeing here in this picture. And he made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about was dark waters and thick clouds of the sky. And the brightness that was before him as thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. So he was flying around in clouds, and he'd blow his fire, and it would make his way clear. And it also seems like maybe he's hiding in like caves or something. And when we think about, what we know about dragons, they would certainly make the earth shake and tremble because of their fire and their size and just that whole dragon thing they do. Smoke out of their nostrils, fire out of their mouth, flying around in the heavens, seemingly hiding in caves, which is what we understand about dragons from the typical lore, and able to blow out fire and cause them to be able to see. So here's King David. King David talking about a dragon. That can't be anything else than a dragon. One of my great subscribers sent these couple verses to me. This is a dragon. And that's not the only time David saw it. Let's talk about it back over here in 2 Samuel 22:8 through 13. Almost the same exact words. Earth shaking, trembling, smoke out of the nostrils, fire of his mouth, flying around in the heavens, maybe hiding out in darkness. And the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. So he was blowing out fire to be able to make the way before him bright. So, think about it. Is there anything other than a description of this from David's words? Fire, smoke, wings, being able to brighten darkness as he flies. It's kind of like a dark side Rudolph, right? So it's a dragon. There's no real honest doubt that this is a stinking dragon that David's talking about. But the thing that's very interesting to me is if we read, it starts Samuel 18:7. If we read verse 6, and if we read here Samuel 22:8, if we read verse 7, so if we start one verse earlier, Psalm 18:6, one verse earlier, 2 Samuel 22:7. Ready to have your mind blown? Psalm 18:6. In my distress I called upon the Lord. I cried to my God. He heard my voice. And my cry came to him before even into his ears. And then the earth shook and trembled because he, who? My God that I just called to, was wroth. Then went up a smoke out of his nostrils. Whose? The God I just called to. Fire out of his mouth. Who? The God I just called to. He was flying. Who? The God I just called to. He lives in a dark, secret place. Who? The God I just called to. He blows out fire from his mouth. Who? The God I just called to. Psalm 18, 2 Samuel 22:7. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. David called upon the Lord, and the Lord appeared and answered. The Lord is a dragon, David told us twice. This lines up exactly with Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 23, which shows the Lord as a dragon, destroying the perfectly created earth of the inexpressible ones, a.k.a. the Elohim. This lines up perfectly with what John has told us in the book of Revelation about the great red dragon. This is the Lord, and the amazing thing to me, I mean, I knew he was a dragon, so that wasn't all that amazing to me, but to see David, King David, and remember what David was called? The man after God's own heart. The man after the heart of the Lord, the man after the heart of a dragon. For some reason, that makes me think of Vlad the Impaler. Wasn't he also likened to a dragon? So the man with the heart after God, man with God's own heart, sees a dragon twice. So David, knowing that David knew he was worshiping a dragon. David saw this dragon not once, but David saw it twice, and David knew that he was worshiping a dragon. And David continued to worship the dragon. David probably sold his soul because he knew it would make him powerful. I mean, who can defeat you if you got a stinking dragon? Can you imagine if you had a dragon? Oh, it's mind-blowing. King David, worshiped the Lord knowing he was a dragon. Now, you now know what King David knew. You know, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Psalm 18, 2 Samuel 22, Jeremiah chapter 4, several places in the book of Revelation. The Lord is clearly a dragon. So, now that you know the Lord is a dragon, what you going to do, now that this truth is busted out all over you, brother, sister? Are you going to continue to worship a dragon? Are you going to continue to attend churches of a dragon? Are you going to continue to be the servant of a dragon? It's up to you. And before, you could claim ignorance. Well, I didn't know he was a dragon. I mean, now you know. And that moves you from ignorant to stupid if you decide to keep doing it. I'm just giving you an English lesson. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying if you do something because you don't know, then you're ignorant. If you know and continue to do it, you could be called stupid. And if you want to worship a dragon, I guess that's up to you. I'm not worshiping no dragon. I know he's a dragon, and I am setting about to slay dragons. Isn't that interesting that some of the old imagery was slaying dragons? Now we find out that the Lord is a dragon. So what you going to do? You going to serve a dragon, or do you want to help me slay a dragon? It's completely up to you. Folks, this is clearly what needs to be done. The Lord is a dragon, and we need to slay him. And I am in the dragon slaying business. I need your help. Some people say, Jeff, I just can't slay dragons. There's no way. I'm not the kind of person that goes out and fights a dragon. Well, help me fight the dragon then. Because we have got a dragon, and this is a dragon that has to be slain. We're talking about David's dragon, and we need to take on this dragon. King David knew he was worshiping a dragon. Now you know you're worshiping a dragon. Now you know I'm fighting a dragon. Join me or help me. Let's get this thing done. This is what it looks like when you unindoctrinate yourself. This is what it looks like when you unwind your mind. This is all about guiding your own spirit, mastering your own ascension, being your own guru. And unless you're a dragon, be excellent. to each other.